Millions of kids aren't so lucky, and that's why this week we're seeing all kinds of help popping up on the internet.
Russ, if you want to go this way, you can see just down the ramp from us, we've got a spin out. We've got State Patrol responding to someone who slid right off the road. You can see this car coming right now, this truck going a little bit fast for conditions, quite honestly. We've been out here since about 6:30 or so, and we still have not seen any snowplows coming through, and the ramps and the stop signs and things like that are some of the places that MnDOT said they really want to focus on, and you can see just how bad this is. State police say if we should know one thing about this crash, it was alcohol related on a night with wet roads. And these roads are getting wetter, and you know they're going to become more slippery, especially to the north. So Dennis, unfortunately, this is a reminder about the dangers of drinking and driving.
All right, so one fatality, one person taken to the hospital, but we think she'll be okay.
But she's okay, correct.
Appreciate the update, Mary. Thank you.
Once the ramps and the highway reopen, MnDOT says it's going to conduct a traffic study. Then on July 1st, they'll let us know if this area is going to need more attention or whether this weekend's work did the trick. And even though that freezing drizzle has stopped, and we've kind of been showing this all morning, this layer of ice is getting thicker and thicker. So this is what you're seeing on the roads this morning, you guys. You guys, the wind just came in. It's painful.
Screaming cold. It's screaming cold weather.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even uncomfortable. Yesterday was a little uncomfortable. Today, ow.
Today it hurts.
It's awful.
Fox 9's Mary Costello has been covering the storm since before sunrise and has more on how the weekend snowfall became a dangerous blizzard.
Minnesota State Patrol says it only responded to 22 crashes and 88 vehicles off the road statewide from midnight to 6 a.m. And police say many of those could probably be attributed more to alcohol than to the snow.
It's just after 7 o'clock Saturday morning, and everything is pretty much snow-covered and slippery, and it feels pretty bad right now. You can feel the snowstorm coming in, but we're told it's not nearly as bad as it's going to get.
Yes, there's a lot of people going fast just because they do have four-wheel drive, and you can just tell that, it makes me nervous.
It didn't take long for everybody to slow down. This semi-truck is actually trying to get up this on-ramp.
It's now 4 hours later. It's much windier and significantly colder. There's a lot more snow on the ground, and we're seeing that traffic has really slowed to a crawl. MnDOT says it's very dangerous. They've even pulled their plow trucks from the roads in southwest Minnesota.
It's terrible. It's like a while. You really can't see no more than like 10 or 15 feet in front of you once you're on a road and get going. It's really terrible.
In fact, just after noon, we couldn't drive more than a minute without seeing someone spun off the highway.
It's now mid-afternoon, and let's face it, it is pretty ridiculous out here. It's nearly impossible to drive. It took me personally 20 minutes just to pull into the parking space. And things are not over with yet. Not even close. In Eden Prairie, Mary Costello, Fox 9 News.
No, they're not over with yet. In fact, let's go from the timeline now that we've been talking about all day long. Mary Costello out there in the Fox 9 Morning News since, the wee hours of the morning.
Local teenagers locked up tonight, and police say, unlike lightning, he struck the same place twice.
Fox 45's Mary Costello has more on his encore performance.
Police say a teen living with his brother in these apartments walked across the street and robbed this gas station on Tuesday morning. They say 24 hours later, he did it again.
It's around 3:30 in the morning on Tuesday. This teen, wearing a bandana and with a gun sticking out of his waistband, walks up to the counter. He walks away with more than $200. Little did that clerk know he'd be seeing that same teen again about the same time the next morning.
The very first rule is to get away as fast as you possibly can, and once you've gotten away, don't come back.
Kristen Mann lives just up the street. She couldn't believe it when she heard it happen the first time. She can only guess why this teen would come back.
If you win the lottery once, I don't think that you're going to stop buying tickets. You just kind of keep going.
But detectives say one reason the 17-year-old may have come back, the money wasn't just for him. Listen to what he told the clerk his second time around. Detectives say the teen does have a pregnant girlfriend, and it does appear he may have been trying to help them. Dawn Appleberry says it's no excuse and says the teen should get a job. Her niece is almost the same age as the teen and says she doesn't get why he robbed the gas station in the first place.
Okay, now what if he would have got locked up? So either way, his kids ain't gonna be taken care of.
The 17-year-old did get locked up less than an hour after the second robbery.
Desperation is one thing, but stupidity is another.
Police say the 17-year-old confessed to both robberies and is being held in a juvenile detention center. The prosecutor's office is scheduled to review his case tomorrow to determine whether or not they'll charge him as an adult. Reporting in Moraine, Mary Costello for Dayton's News Source.
Lieutenant Ralph Wildenhaus was 21 years old when his plane crashed during World War II. He was buried in Dayton, but all of his possessions somehow in the last 60 years lost. Until this trunk showed up at a garage sale 2 weeks ago in St. Petersburg, Florida. Susan Zaffeder and her husband wouldn't be adding it to their antique collection.
Joe and I looked at it for a little while and realized that this was someone's life.
After searching online, Susan found Rosemary Brunn, Ralph's only surviving sister, in Dayton, Ohio. And Thursday, Susan and her husband sent the trunk up north.
I think I'm kind of nervous. My heart was going 100 miles an hour. Bring that trunk in. Bringing that trunk in, yes.
How are you today, ma'am?
Hi, just fine, thank you.
Where would you like me to put this, inside?
Yes. Oh, it's rusty.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness me.
Inside were the things Rosemary had heard about and seen on TV, but now she could hold them in her hand.
Oh, I just don't know what to grab first.
But there was so much here that Rosemary hadn't seen, like all of the baby clothes.
And to see that little hat there, his wife made all of our children a little hat like that for their baptism. There isn't anything in the world I could want more than this.
Lieutenant Ralph Wildenhaus died while serving in World War II 64 years ago. But now, Rosemary remembers what it was like to be his little sister.
His life is in there. He had a short life, but he lived it well.
It was an honor to share that moment with the Brunns, but they have a lot of looking left to do. There are still unopened envelopes, stacks of pictures and documents, and that will take at least the rest of the weekend to sort through. Live in the studio, Mary Costello for Dayton's News Source.